How old is the universe and how did it begin? Throughout the research history, countless myths, hypotheses, and scientific theories have tried to explain the universe's origin. The most extensively accepted simplification is the Big Bang theory. In 1927, the Belgian Catholic priest Georges Lemaître proposed an expanding model for the universe to explain the observed redshifts of spiral nebulae. He based his theory on the work of Einstein and De Sitter and independently derived Friedmann's equation for an expanding universe. In the very beginning of Earth's history, this planet was a giant, red-hot, roiling, boiling sea of oceans of magma. The heat had been generated by the repeated high-speed collisions of much smaller bodies of space rocks that continually stumped together as they collided to form our current planet. As the collisions gradually decreased, the primitive Earth began to cool, forming a thin crust on its surface. As the cooling continued, water vapor began to escape and condense on the Earth's early atmosphere. Clouds formed and storms raged, raining more and more water down on the primitive Earth, cooling the surface further until it was flooded with water, forming the seas. Scientists are still trying to resolve one of the greatest mysteries of Earth. When did life first appear and how did it happen? It is estimated that the first life forms on Earth were primitive, one-celled creatures that appeared about 3 billion years ago. Then suddenly those single-celled organisms began to evolve into multicellular organisms. Then an unparalleled profusion of life in incredibly complex forms began to fill the oceans. The Miller-Urey experiment was a chemical experiment that stimulated the condition at the time to be present on the early Earth and tested the chemical origin of life under those conditions. The experiment used water, methane, ammonia, and hydrogen. The chemicals were all sealed inside a sterile 5-liter glass flask connected to a 500 ml flask half full of water. Then by going through a stage of evaporation, continuous electrical spark and condensation, they have simulated lightning in the water vapor and gaseous mixture condition like primitive Earth. At the end of 1 week of continuous operation and processing, through a series of chemical reactions, Miller identified 5 amino acids present in the solutions. Amino acid, the first building block of life in this Earth. Still, scientists are finding new indications to find out how life first began on Earth in some really interesting places. The deep ocean.